Welcome back to Doki Doki Let's Play Part 5, am I right? Yeah, 5. Yeah, let's, I don't know if the stuff is gonna happen this episode as mentioned previously. Since I don't know how to edit videos on here, watch the other video to find out. The shameless plug, lol, no. I'm kidding, you don't have to, but yeah, because no one's gonna watch this anyway, so. Alright, let's go. Okay, everyone, we're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone can come and sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Oh, do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. Well, there's nothing embarrassing each other, or embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. We really don't do well with last minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're gonna keep it simple, alright? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sorry, I've been working on posters and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Sorry, I thought you'd heard about it already. We're gonna be performing. Performing? Monica? Yeah, we're gonna be having a poetry performance. Each of us are gonna choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also gonna let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's putting it on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting these posters up, did you? Well, I did. You really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad idea. But I didn't sign up for this, you know. There is no way I'm gonna be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with that, Sugi. I could never, in my life, do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys! No, Sayori. I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kinda overlooked that. So, I'm sorry. But, I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah! It's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right! And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. Because she does right now, that's so funny. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but it looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright! Woo! Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone's expectant faces. I guess I really don't have a choice. Aha, that's everyone! You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the no, okay, I can't. Oh gosh. You'll be fine. Whoa! No, Monica, stop. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way! Monica! This is too sudden! Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now, let's see. Monica flips through a notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Ahem. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica! Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. Ah! Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each of us. You can do it, Yuri. It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns and structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse of the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her, as if she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to say of this situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterward, and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her. We were caught so off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back to her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri's down for the count. Okay, I guess I'm next then. Sayori hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one's called My Meadow. Sorry, I giggled. Sayori. It's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it. Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror, or in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew and through. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it! Good job, Sayori. You and Alex liked it. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely, but it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. Huh? I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. You might need a little more force behind them, depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. Well, I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do it in front of everyone. And next time, I'm gonna make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. You don't have much time before the festival, you know? Okay. Now, who's next? Natsuki? Don't make me go before Alex. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let Alex lower everyone's standards a little bit before I have to do it. Natsuki. It's fine. I might as well get it over with. It's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry I'm not really as good as everyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that'll improve over time, though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then. It just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called... It's called... Why are you all looking at me? Because you're presenting? Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. Once she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes, and everyone applauds. She huffs back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You better not make me do that again. Well, you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people. I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people. When it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is, so... Well, I guess in that case, I don't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope that you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Jeez, I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for it tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. I can't wait! I can do this. I can do this. Alright. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club and impressing Monica, I'll have to do my best. You think of Sayori? Yep. Look at you two, always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Hee hee. Jeez, guys, don't make such a big deal out of it. Must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, Alex, you don't have to say it. Whatever, let's go already. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayori is being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori. Sorry, I was spacing out. Oh, no wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to... Sayori fumbles with her words. So let's just say that one day Natsuki asks to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Well... Oh, what the frick? I don't wanna... No! Cause I know it's gonna happen either way. I know okay. Oh man. Just enjoy the music while it's here. Why can't I walk home with both of Blue? Sayori, you really think I would ditch you for Natsuki? Huh? But she's so cute and fun to be around. Jeez. I already see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you. You're so silly, Alex. You think about me too much sometimes. Natsuki would deserve it if she wanted it, so... Sayori, I've already made up my mind. I really can't figure you out sometimes. Sorry. Besides, what's the point in speculating something that's never gonna happen? The conversation trails off. It's kind of a weird thing for Sayori to care so much about. But I want to respect her and keep her happy too. And again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what'll happen in that time? Oh, frick. Blah. Let's see. Frick! Okay, Jumpy. Bruh. Peace. Play. What the frick? Nibble. Kawaii. Boop. Fluff. Climax. No. Whirl. No. Frick you, Yuri. I hate you. Okay. Hop. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I like the word infallible, not gonna lie. Let's go. What the? Okay, no, whatever. I thought that would be Natsuki, because you know. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. Pull them all about the net. Let's go, baby. Oh man, I'm the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. Are you practicing piano again? Yeah. You must have a lot of determination, starting this club and now picking up piano. Maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. I'm super happy that you're willing to help out for the festival as well. I can't wait for the festival, it's gonna be great. Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah, I'm not talking about our part of the festival, but it's all day of school where we get to playing all kinds of delicious food. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Oh, come on, are you saying you don't like squid? You, of all people? Huh? I didn't say I don't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because, it's right in your name. Monica. Huh? That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Yeah, never mind. Let's just focus on our own event for now, huh? Fine. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me. Where is Sayori anyway? There you are. Sayori is sitting at a desk in the corner of the room, looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face. Huh? You're spacing out again. Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Huh? Is everything alright? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Jeez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Well, alright. If you say so. I worriedly glanced at Sayori before turning back toward everyone else. But the conversation has already dispersed with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing her at the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approached Monica, who was shuffling through some papers at her desk. Alex, what's up? Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently? Anything up with her? In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm reading into it a little too much, but she seems a bit downcast today. Oh, you think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Maybe there is something on her mind. But I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Alex. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her. But this time, when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now. No, it's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her. I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Are you sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? Maybe she just had a hard time bringing it up with the person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Alex. Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anyone else, you know? Huh? She's been so much happier ever since you joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her. What? No way. Sayori was always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now than it always has been. You're so funny, Alex. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful? Because that's just how she is when she's around you? I said too much. I'm sorry. So what do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget about what I said. I tried to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. Well, she said to forget about it. But I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her. She's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her? That I'm letting this weigh me down so much. It feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary. But there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Hey, you. Huh? I look up to see Natsuki next to me. Are you just gonna sit there and keep staring at nothing? There isn't that much time, so... sorry, I didn't mean to make you worry or anything. It's not like I'm worried. I was just... Natsuki glances down at her side. She's holding a volume of manga in her hand. That's right. Something just came up for a minute, but we can get started now. I won't make you wait any longer. Jeez. You're making me feel like a jerk. If something's bothering you, then you can just tell me to leave you alone and I will. I mean, assuming you didn't feel like talking about it or anything. She practically mumbles that last part. Nah, I'm probably making it seem like a bigger deal than it is. I just been thinking about Sayori, that's all. Sayori? Thinking about her? Yeah, she seemed pretty down today, but she didn't want to admit it to me, so I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh, Natsuki exhales. Well, first of all, you should really work on your phrasing, but anyway, you're her best friend, right? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and in that case, I think you should trust her a little more. If she needed you, then you would be the first person she would go to, right? Well, I guess that's true. I mean, some people just have those days. You can't always avoid it. If anything, she probably doesn't want you to worry about it because it's unimportant. Yeah, that's kind of what she said to me. Maybe it's not right for me to go against her wishes. Exactly. If she needs you to worry about her, then it'll be a lot more obvious. Yeah? I should have thought about it that way from the start. Natsuki fiddles with the book she's holding in her hands. She really means a lot to you, doesn't she? Don't get the wrong idea or anything. You've just been friends for a long time. It's normal to be worried about your friends. I mean, you were worried about me, so... I was not. Jeez, if you're fine, let's hurry and get this started already. Yeah. No. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything is back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. Oh, I'm afraid if this is the frickin' part. Let's see if it is. It's nice, I guess. Come on, I can already tell you don't like it. Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Natsuki. Huh? I didn't write this for anyone specifically. Maybe. It's not really what I meant, though. But it's okay. I'm making new friends, just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. You're happy too, right? In this club? Well, of course I am. Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Alex. Sayori, is there something wrong? Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today. Alright. Just tell me if you need anything. I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now. If you insist. Yay! Let me go home a little bit early today. Sayori? Tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. I don't get to read the poem. Bruh. Okay. Okay. Let's do Monica next. Hi, Alex. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I'll have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure, but whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It'll also make me happy to see. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure. I let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. Sticking with the Natsuki style once more, I see... You really like Natsuki, don't you? Oh, come on, Alex. It's awfully suspicious, you know. Spending time with her in the club room every day, pretending to like the manga that she's into. You know how Natsuki is. If I don't indulge her, she'll end up hating me. Huh? No, I think you're misunderstanding, Alex. It's not like Natsuki just hates anyone who doesn't give her what she wants. Yeah, she's assertive, but she's not that selfish. In fact, I think you're the only one who's indulged her as much as you have. Is that so? I kinda knew that, but I just didn't want to admit it. So I just need one thing to ask of you. Be careful. Please? Natsuki is kind of unpredictable. A lot of times, she doesn't even know what she wants. After all, she's the youngest one here. She might not know how to handle her own feelings properly. What I'm saying is, if something bad happens, then it could end up damaging the club too. And you wouldn't do that to me, right? I'm not sure how to respond to Monica. Well, I care about her in the club, it's also kind of unfair to bring that up. Well, you're smart. I'm sure you'll do the right thing. Monica smiles sweetly. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright. The lady who knows everything. An old tale of a lady who wanders the earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather, lost adrift the sky, victims of the currents of the wind. Day after day I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, all the others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering in the twilight sky. Until one day, the wind ceases to blow, I fall, and I fall, and fall, and fall even more. Gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything is what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. You know, I feel like learning and looking for answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. I see. I never really put much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical, because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? You know, there's one thing I noticed. It seems like it seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. You surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you know better than anyone. You mean one-dimensional? Yeah, that. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid that it's not good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. If you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier, because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it, and the things that you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it'll make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Alright. Okay. Alright. I see. I think you're improving at writing in general, Alex. But I can't help but feel a little bit foolish. What for? I feel like I kept trying to offer advice, when it should have been clear to me that you prefer a different writing style. I probably just sounded arrogant. I'm so stupid. Yuri, that's a little... No, you don't understand. I spent so much time worrying about what's better and what's worse, not just with you, with Natsuki and Sayori. It's obvious now why no one has fun when talking to me, and because of that, I'll just get my mouth shut about your poem. Yuri buries her head into her arms on her desk. It's not the first time I've seen her do that. I don't think it's ever as bad as you make it sound in your head. I think if people really didn't like talking to you, then it would be a lot more obvious. I know that you like to read deeply into things, but some things are just worth taking at face value. I've gotten so used to it that it's hard for me to comprehend any other possibility. Gotten used to what? Reading deeply into things? Being disliked. Yuri. What am I saying? I'm sorry. I never meant to bring this up. Yuri turns away from me. You should go. Huh? Please don't look at me right now. I want to do some thinking. Are you sure? Yuri nods. Alright. I'll leave Yuri be. Comforting or reassuring her is nearly impossible as it is. So when she wants to be alone, I think anything I say could only make things worse. I feel bad, but thankfully she doesn't take it out on me. All Angel's just feeling a little bit better. Alright, here we go, last one. Let's see. You're certainly enthusiastic today. Of course! You know I like your writing. I'm just surprised. It seemed like you had a lot of trouble admitting that before. Well, of course! I just had to put you in your place a little bit. It's not like I was shy or anything stupid like that. Or jealous. I really wasn't jealous, just because you happen to be a good writer. That's such a dumb thing to get jealous about. Natsuki. What? You're not very confident in what you're writing, are you? What are you talking about? My writing is obviously the best, right? It took me a while to figure it out, but I think I finally did. Maybe Natsuki acts so arrogant because she's trying to make up for her own insecurities. If she acts like she's the best, then other people might think that way too. Right? Alex, please just tell me you like my poems. I don't care if you hate them. Just please tell me I'm the best. I just really need to hear that from someone. I know I sound stupid, but there's a reason I never read my poems before this. Natsuki. Because nobody ever takes me seriously. What's the point in sharing my poems if people just laugh and say, "That's so cute," just like you, Natsuki. Sometimes I don't want to be cute, but nobody understands that. I try really hard when I write. The style doesn't matter, the emotions are there. Why can't anyone see that? I just want... Natsuki trails off. Maybe it's because her lips started to quiver. I look down. Her fists are clenched really tight. Hey Natsuki, if you're not careful, you'll rip your own poem. I gently grabbed the poem with my own hand until she relaxed her grip on it. I placed it flat on the desk and smoothed out the wrinkles that she put into it. Don't read it! Before I can pick it back up, Natsuki snatches the poem from the desk. It's not any good, and I know you hate my poems, so you don't have to read this one, okay? But I want to read it. Why? Because I like your poems. I really do. Why would I judge you for your style? It's not like my own style is anything crazy. I mean, it's true that the first time I read one of your poems, I didn't look much into it. But I know you better now, and it's wrong for Yuri to think your style is more amateur than hers. And Yuri, she always means well. But sometimes she's so focused on simple happiness that she doesn't understand what people really want. And I guess I never really thought about how hard it is for you. And I'm sorry if I was part of the problem. I understand now. You're not just cute. You're a lot more than that. Natsuki, you're doing it again. Once again, Natsuki clutches her poem a little too hard. She looks down, hiding her eyes from me. I never realized how difficult this was for her. But finally, she forces herself to extend her arms and set her poem on the table. You can... read it. Just turn that way. I don't want you to look at my face right now. Okay. I will. Oh, frick. No. Ooh, okay. Because you. Tomorrow will be brighter with me around, but when today is dim, I can only look down. Because my looking is only a little more forward because you look at me. When I want to say something, I say it with a shout, but my truest feelings can never come out. My words are always a little less empty because you listen to me. When something is above me, I reach for the stars, but when I feel small, I don't get very far, because standing is a little bit taller. I guess you sit with me. I believe in myself with all of my heart, but what do I do when it's torn all apart? My faith is a little bit stronger because you trusted me. My pen always puts my feelings to the test. I'm not a good writer, but my best is my best. My poems are a little dearer because you think of me. Because you, because you, because you. Why are you looking at me like that? If you don't like it, then just say it. I won't get mad. No, it's not that I don't like it. It was just a little surprising to read. I guess I'm not used to hearing such nice things come from you. Don't just say that, dummy. What do you think the point of writing is? Expressing things that you can't just say? Yeah, I understand. I'm sorry for missing the point sometimes. I always mean well, and I'm happy that you showed this to me. I liked it. Well, yeah. I'm a pro, so Natsuki mumbles, completely failing to sound confident like she usually does. Just remember that I can think these things sometimes too. You know, when you're nice to me, it's meaningful. Ah, I'm glad. Sensing Natsuki is satisfied, I start to hand the poem back to her. But as I do, Natsuki takes my hands and pushes them back away. Her small, soft hands surprise me with their assertion. I don't want it. Huh? Why not? I just don't. Jeez. I realize what Natsuki is doing. Unable to be honest, she's trying to give me the poem in a roundabout way. Well, in that case, I'm going to keep it. Instead of teasing her, I choose to go along with it. Good. If you didn't, I would... Never mind. Just, I'm glad that you want it. Natsuki backpedals on her words and leaves it at that. Despite her best efforts to hide her expression, you can see her faintly smiling to herself. That's all for now, so go put it away before someone sees it, okay? Yeah. I'll go do that. With that, I return to my seat so that I can put away Natsuki's poem. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second. Is it just me or did you say something strange just now? Huh? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. Deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. Your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. It seems you're right. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to, anyway? I thought you just went to pee. Natsuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on. She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all the times to not go home with her, you picked the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No! First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Oh. That curious expression coming from Yuri of all people. Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything was fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Natsuki will be making cupcakes, but we need a lot of them in different flavors. Can you handle it all by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted. And as for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And as for Yuri, you can, guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know. Now Natsuki's pouting too. Jeez, even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. That may be the case, but if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So, Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know, so you should make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that, I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk and focuses and starts nodding to herself. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you, Alex. The one who is truly useless. Don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I'd be really appreciative of that. That's... Is Monica suggesting I spend the week with one of my club members? How are they gonna respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give to you. It's not like Monica's going to give me a choice, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. Alex may not like to be around if you only make him out to be a nuisance. So therefore, you may be more suited to assisting with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that. How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're just making excuses for Alex to... What are you saying? It'd be extremely meticulous work, and baking isn't? Just what do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Alex to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten the chance to spend any time with me yet, you know? So I'm sure he's interested in... You literally just said... I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying though. Jeez. Can we just settle this already? Yeah. Alex, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. In that case, everyone looks straight at me. But of course, I'm gonna go with... No, I can't. Ending on a cliffhanger. Who do I choose? Leave your suggestions in the comment. No, okay, alright. I'm kidding. You all know who I was gonna choose, so let's just... Okay, well, baking sounds like it could be fun. And you guys make it sound like a lot of fun, like a lot of work, so it could probably use 2 people. Don't worry, baking is a ton of fun. You'll definitely agree. Just a minute ago, you were saying that. That's because... Never mind, okay? Well, anyway, you'll be fine by yourself, right, Yuri? Of course. I'm used to it after all. That's... good. Even though Yuri is being melodramatic, it's a little hard to not feel bad. So that's everything, right? Anything else we need to talk about? No, I think that's it. Are you guys excited? Yes! Everything everything except the performance is gonna be awesome! I don't think that really counts. What about you, Alex? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Yuri? Yuri? She's still sulking. Natsuki starts pouting too. It's not that big of a deal or anything. Well, it might not be just that. I think that Yuri might just be feeling a little underappreciated in general. Having to come up with something for her to do and then nobody offering to help. That doesn't mean... Natsuki glances back and forth between everyone with a worried expression. Look! Natsuki goes over and puts her hands down on Yuri's shoulders. Yuri, you're fat. No, okay. You really are the most talented one here. And you're gonna help make the event... I can't now. I shouldn't have said that. And you're gonna help make the event a lot more fun and welcoming. I mean, the cupcakes will probably help a lot too, but you're gonna make the atmosphere special. That'll be really important for the way... I'm saying it sarcastically, like I'm making Natsuki feel like a freaking like the most narcissistic person ever. Okay. That'll be really important for the way that people feel during their performances. So, you need to stop being dumb and give yourself a little more credit. Natsuki places her hands and turns to face the other direction. You didn't really mean that, did you? Not really, but Yuri isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Natsuki's words. Natsuki of all people to be saying such encouraging things, but I begin to understand. Natsuki was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this. Because Sayori always helped everyone smile and feel good about themselves. I'm sorry for being dumb. I'm gonna do my best, and all of us are gonna make a really great event. Yeah! Yeah! I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more from me today. So I guess it's time for us to head out. Okay, but I'm staying here a bit longer. I really have to do any reading today, so fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone packs up their things, so I start to follow Monica and Yuri at the doors to chat between each other. Where are you going? We still need to figure out our plans for this weekend. You literally would have got home and realized you didn't even have a way to contact me? Oh, that's true! I have no idea how that slipped my mind. Jeez, good thing I stopped you. I'm giving you my number, okay? Better not make it weird or anything. Why would I do that? Natsuki gives me her number, 8675309. Okay. Okay. I'm coming over on Sunday. I'll bring all the ingredients. Wait! You're coming to my house? Well, yeah. What's wrong with that? I mean, I just figured that since I'm the one helping, I'd be going to your house. Yeah, right. Like I could ever have a guy over at my house. My dad would kill me. Really? That's kind of strict if you ask me. Yeah, how do you think I feel? I can't do anything when my dad is home. Anyway, I just needed to complain for a second. We have each other's numbers now. That's all I needed from you. I guess I'll text you when I'm coming over. Alright, fine by me. Yeah, I'm really gonna show you why I love baking so much. So you'd better look forward to it. Oh? Didn't you say you were just going to give me the dirty work? Well, I was just saying that. It's not like I could act like in front of everyone that I was looking forward to this. Wait, really? Well, kind of. Just because I never got to bake with someone else before. That's all it is, so... Alright, I get it. Sorry for overreacting. Anyway, I'll be heading out now. See you on Sunday. Never mind. I can't believe this. Natsuki's gonna be coming to my house on Sunday? My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, there's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of school. More than that, she told me she was looking forward to it. Is this a chance I have to make something happen between us? Or is it too early for that? Only time will tell. But until then, I won't be able to take my mind off it. I seriously can't wait! And that's the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. Lol. My voice really hurts. I don't know why, so that's why I was, going crazy this episode. I didn't want to, break, although I did break, but, I have no freaking clue how I'm gonna do this anymore, because my voice, it really freaking hurts. So, yeah, I'm done.